Hey y'all, we are here again. It is another new moon. It's May 2024. We are new moon in Taurus. And no matter what time you maybe come across this video, these messages really are timeless. They really do apply to any time because if you fall on this message at a time other than this new moon, there's a reason why it came into your feed, your field of vision today. So, and the energy of the new moon can also be kind of felt at any point in a cycle. Your own point where you are in your own astrological chart can bring about some of this energy. For instance, new moons are new starts. New starts don't always happen or line up at the new moon. It's more like we can be intentional with what is new that we want to bring into our life. So I like to think about at new moons, what am I intentionally trying to bring in, like I just said. And at full moons, what am I intentionally trying to leave behind, to let go of, to release? Okay. So according to the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland, all right, new moon in Taurus is about prosperity. Prosperity lies ahead. I liked what she had to say in the book. It was like additional meanings are think about you will soon be able to afford the thing that you're dreaming of. So if that resonates true for you, put that on a vision board, put that in front of you, manifest that, keep focusing that energy, be intentional about saving your money that you need to buy that whatever it is that you have been dreaming of. Getting clear on what you value most will help you find peace. So prioritizing, take some time out to pamper yourself and start a standing order to a savings account, no matter how small. So, as we think about new moon in Taurus being new prosperity, what intentions can we set to bring a little more prosperity into our lives? So we're going to look at the Light Seers Tarot. We're going to ask for this new moon, what is the energy? What is the energy for us? Can you expand a little bit more on the prosperity? New start is coming. I can tell you right now, the Eight of Cups is absolutely like leaving behind that which is not serving us and going towards something new. Now, in this deck, she has shown us walking towards the sun. Usually this card is shown with people walking like into a dark, windy path. So, but even still, like here, we don't know what's in between. She's just walking into the horizon. It's still an unknown path, but Chris-Anne has gone with maybe a lighter, like you're leaving behind that which never serves you or doesn't serve you anymore in order to walk towards something better. Still usually involves a little bit of unknown. So even though we're at a new moon and we're starting something new, some of us still have some work to do on intentionally choosing to let go of the things that are not serving us anymore. We're going to have new connections, new partnerships, new friendships, new fraternity, sisterhood, sorority, feelings of finding our tribe, new reasons to get together with our friends, new reasons to work close, to celebrate, to open up, to let them in. Something is coming our way. It's going to be a quick, like we are going to hit a sense of motivation, or we're going to hit like a moment of clarity or something. We're going to make a decision and we're going to go after it. And when we do that, when you notice yourself like just having that moment of like decision, go ahead, make the quick movements that you need to do. Okay, we are dealing with trusting that intuition though. So we're going to have this, but don't let yourself get caught up in listening to what others have to say to you and telling you whether or not you should or shouldn't do what you're doing. You are really going to have to dig deep, channel your inner wisdom, connect with yourself, and follow that momentum, whether it, necessarily pays off immediately or not. When you get that surefire feeling in your gut that I know this is what I need to do, oh, real quick, it can be difficult for a lot of people, myself included, because I can be quite impulsive. And so that's where you're really going to have to tap into, is this like one of those moments where I know this is right? Or is this one of those like just impulsive? So we're not talking about like quickly buying something. We're not talking about like emotionally charged decisions. We are talking about those kinds of decisions that just, those moments, aha moments that are clear, that feel right. And or this can even just be a sudden source of inspiration, a sudden burst of energy towards something you're already working towards. And more than likely, when we have these two that show up together, this is going to be like all of a sudden you really are just able to just know how to leave behind that thing that's not serving you anymore. And with our girls in between here, that's suggesting that they're going to help provide that insight, whether it's by mirroring it to you. They may not come out and say it in words. It might not be something that happens with them. Something with your friendships, your sisterhood, your family. That is what's going to help you realize, okay, I need to walk away from this. And all of a sudden you're like, I can do this and I know how to do this. Doesn't mean you're not going to leave behind all of that conditioning, all of the people who've said this or that to you. But again, we are tapping into our inner goddess. Okay, so what is the action? What is the action? I mean, we've talked about that a little bit, tapping into our inner goddess. But that's more like the energy we want to possess right now. So let's ask, what is the action? Okay, so again, we're not just like connecting with that inner goddess. We are literally like leading our life from that place of being intuitively and divinely guided. Okay, so this is like a little bit more passive, like, okay, we're aware of it, and this is like actually stepping out and leading ourselves from that. We are realizing though that not everything is in our hands, not everything is up to us. Okay, we are also working with the divine, with what fate has in store for us. So we're looking at the fact that we can make these movements, make these changes, lead from a life of intuitive guidance, but things are going to come our way that change. So the wheel in and of itself is another new beginning. So when we see the wheel and we're here at the new moon, that's definitely indicating that whether intentional or not, something new is going to happen in our lives. We have the Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. Both are decision-making cards. This one is a little bit more about tapping into your intuition and tuning out what other people have to say. And this is a little bit more of like those decisions you've been juggling. Both involve not seeing everything that's available to you because of that right now. This one's like you're too busy. You're too stuck on what's in front of you, what you're juggling with right now to see that there are other options. This one is the outside conditioning, the anxious thoughts, the things like that are preventing you from, or over analyzing, that are preventing you from seeing the options. So we have 2 2s, we have 2 8s, we have the Queen and King of Cups. So what does that say to us? And the eights are like a new beginning, because we get to 7, right? Think about the 8th day. 7 days is a full week. The 8th day begins a new week. This is walking away from something new. This is a new inspiration, a new momentum. This is a new change coming that will not be in our hands. And we are at a new moon. So change is coming. You will need to have intuitive guidance to get yourself through it. Your girls, your guys, your tribe, your people, your collective, they are where it's at right now. That's where you need to be. You need to be connecting with them because they are somehow involved in this change. And we're looking at how we're making decisions. We are going to be faced a little bit with, I mean, you don't have to make the decision, but if you stay stuck here in this energy, you're not going to get to this energy. This is going to happen, and it could lead to some chaos. Or if we get through this energy right here, we tap into this energy, we are going to celebrate. And we were asking about action. So this is celebrate all of the little steps. Celebrate anything that comes your way. Okay, so let's see. All right, so what's the advice? What is the advice for this new moon? What's the advice? Okay, the cards are, there we go. All right, so we got King of Swords. All right. 8, strength. Okay. So again, this is going to take some oomph. All right. The advice is you are going to have to channel that strength. The advice is that as much as you're being tapped into your intuitive guidance and you're leading from that, we also want to think things through. This is elevated thinking. This is like the highest level of thinking we can get to. This is not anxious, bogged down thinking of thoughts influenced by other people. This is, we are clear-minded. We are thinking from our wisest self. We are considering our divine guidance. Okay, so we've got King of Cups, who is divinely in tune, leading from that way, but then also we're, like considering, analyzing those messages that we are getting. Okay, it's going to take a deep amount of inner strength to deal with this new change, whatever's coming. It's going to take a deep amount of inner strength to walk away from whatever's not serving us, to be able to get through this energy of indecision and not seeing what we have. And it's also going to take time of reflection. It's going to take, actually giving yourself the time to connect with yourself. You can't channel this energy if you're not channeling this energy right here. You can't recognize that sudden momentum if you are not in touch with yourself here. Okay, the presence of these two and advice is also to remember, is calling back to this, to remember that there is more going on. The universe has more. We need to surrender to the divine here a little bit, because these are things that are outside of our control. What is in our control? Celebrating our small victories. Okay, what is in our control? Looking at what is our thoughts, how do we feel and think about what we need to do, and what are other people telling us what to do. Okay, what is in our control? Intentionally deciding we're going to walk away from what doesn't serve us. Listening to our intuition, listening to our higher guided wisdom, looking at what we know deep down in our bones, and leading our life from those places. Because that's going to bring in, again, when this shift changes, okay, we are not going to immediately make this momentum change, this new change, and step into being, it's not going to be the life-changing thing that takes us into the culmination of our life. It's actually bringing us into a new place where we're going to learn something new about ourselves, and we're going to have to learn to move forward from a place of curiosity and guidance. We want to, we're looking back at these thoughts, and we want to make sure that we're paying attention to the people who have our best interests at heart, are people who are, helping guide us. We're not looking at these people, not the people we know are supporting us, not our soul people, but other people. This, the advice. Okay, the advice is to stay in this energy when we are looking at, recognizing when this happens, and discerning between the difference of impulses, being impulsive, and what is actually a divine moment of guidance, and making sure that we are being honest with ourselves, but also looking at the things that people have told us. Are we listening to things that have been dishonest, and not trying to cut corners to get where we want to go. If we are going to leave here and we want to get here, we can't cut the corners. You have to do the hard work. Okay? And from there we're stepping into the person who is able to create, to take the dream that you have in your mind and create it and nurture it and be one with the physical reality that these are trying, are in tune with. Here we're in our heart and in our soul. Here we're in our head. Here she has actually built it into life. Okay, so and when we see this many court cards, it is an indication that we are not doing this alone. Okay, we have the Three of Cups and we have the court cards. Yes, we are giving ourselves introspective time to connect with ourselves, and we are using our inner guidance, but the actual reality that we are trying to create, remember, we started with walking away from something that isn't serving us anymore. This is what we cannot do alone. Often people think that is a solo, and because it is a solo journey, but it is also something we need to lean on the people who have either done it before, been there before. This, seeing this many queens and kings, or like talking to our elders and getting their wisdom and guidance, getting people who are trained, licensed. If this is a mental health or an emotional health thing, go look into people who are trained and licensed in this and can help you. All right, so energy, we are moving, that much is for sure, okay? We are moving and we are collecting with our people, okay? Action is we are tapping into our inner intuition, and we are taking a look at the things in our life. We may not even know what we need to walk away from right now. So that's probably what these two cards are telling us to look at. Like, what is the things that need to be let go of, that are no longer serving us? And we're waiting for that sign. We're waiting for that sign from the universe that's going to tell us, and more than likely it's going to come in one of those moments of fates where like the tables turn, okay? And the advice is that when we tap into our intuition, but we're listening and using our elevated sense of wisdom that comes to us from our spirits, from our ancestors, through nature, these nature spirits that talk to us, and we're listening to them. Okay, we are connecting with our inner source of strength, our inner guiding light. We are not cutting corners, and then that way we can be like the Queen of Pentacles. So that is the tarot. So before we go, let's pick a symbol for this lunar cycle. What? I'll laugh if we just get the new moon card. But let's. So here we have, we're reaffirming. Look at this. We have the psychic knowledge. So here's our psychic. Okay, here is our knowledge. Here is our, where did it go? Here is our divinity right here. Okay, stepping into play. All right. So we are reaffirming that really, so that to me is telling me like, really look at this. Okay. We want to realize this is a period of surrendering to the divine, acknowledging that we are being divinely guided. Okay. This is not totally up to us. All right, so another representation from all those court cards, okay, is that You know, we are being divinely guided. Our ancestors, those wise guides, are giving us messages. They are giving us our messages through our dreams. They are giving us our messages through our feelings, through our thoughts. So we really need to pay attention to them. That's where the hermit comes into play. We have to pay attention to these messages. We have to surrender to what the divine timing and the divine influences are going to be in this situation. And in the meantime, use practical knowledge, use practical knowledge. Again, we're talking about prosperity lies ahead. So that's where, that we don't want to get too much in the manifestation, the visions and the visionary. We want to actually sit down, use our brains, and make out the steps, plan out the process. All right, let's see. Let's see what the oracle has to say. What does the oracle have to say about this new moon, May 7th, in Taurus? Tick tock. Okay, so this is going a little bit more of that, being a little more intentional. Okay, actually, this knowledge and the prosperity aspect, the fact that Yasmin even says, actually do some planning for your finances. Okay, this is looking at, this isn't like TikTok, the time it's counting down. Although for some, if that resonated with you, that actually could be a little bit of letting you know, hey, chances don't come around all the time. So this can go back a little bit to this Eight of Wands of look, when the opportunity presents itself to acquire or to go after that job or to make the change that you yourself want to make, don't, this is a sudden burst of energy. So this could be talking to you and saying, seriously, don't get hung up in the decision-making process this time. Just go ahead and make the decision. Okay? And then on the other side, this is talking about being a little bit more structured in this earth energy that we are going into we're already in with the Taurus season, because we're then going to leave the earth energy and we're going to go into Gemini season, and we're going to go into the transition between spring and summer. Okay, and so this is really kind of the last month until the fall, where we've got this this really grounded energy to be like this. Not that everybody, gets ungrounded during the summer, but the energy itself lends towards, and just in general, societally, summer is a little bit looser. It's a little bit harder to pin things down often with certain areas of our life, because of the fact that it's holiday time, it's vacation time, it's travel time. And so this month may be a really good time for you to go ahead and line things up before the summer comes, and even maybe make your summer plans. And how you're going to financially handle your own summer plans. So let's close out with elemental. Okay. All right. So we have the earth element. All right. We have I would have to look. I forgot. The directions have I wish they had little symbols. I'm going to quickly reach across. Okay. Because I remember that the directions have, she gave them elements. All right. So west is earth. Okay. So earth. And then I haven't visited this deck in a while. So Don't judge me. I am going to consult the book a little bit for us. Um, So earth, and then air with dark matter, which is what I thought. And so, like I just said, we are in the earth energy right now, and we're going to move into air with Gemini season. All right. And so here she's talking about completion, which I think comes a little bit back to we haven't, while this is a new start is coming for this new moon, we haven't actually quite gotten to the point where we've started the steps, or we haven't made quite as much of the journey yet away from what we need to let go of, what is not serving us. And so what this might individually mean for you, okay, is what is to your west. Like literally what is to your west. Okay, and so, and on the compass, all right, west points to the left, and in tarot, left pointing things refer to the past. So we're looking again like this thing that we need to walk away from may be as simple as letting go of something from our past, which it usually is, all right, but sometimes it's a habit. All right. So sometimes what we need to walk away from or that's no longer serving us is some kind of habit or routine, thought pattern, thing like that. What this is telling you is it's somewhere in the past and it's done. Like it literally can no longer serve you. So whatever's coming to mind right now, whatever just popped into your head, like it is done. That doesn't necessarily make it so easy to walk away from. So here is this, clarity. So that moment right now where you just thought of something, that's your moment of clarity. If it didn't come for you right then and there, it's going to come. You're going to get your moment of clarity. And you're going to feel this sudden like, oh, I that's what I need to do. But realize walking away from anything, a cycle, something from our past, a person, a habit, a job, whatever it is never just as simple as like that moment of clarity. It is always a lot longer of a process. And so that is where the mountain comes in. In yoga, mountain pose is our grounding pose. It's the pose we return to after the flow of the vinyasa. Okay, so you're going to have this moment of clarity, but you're going to need to stay grounded in that because that's how we end up falling back to those things. All right. But you also are going to need to believe. Here we've got the divinity card again. You've got to believe that it is possible. You have to believe that it's in there, and you have to understand that the pain of either the pain that is causing you right now or the pain that it causes you to walk away, there are answers in that pain. And if you try to avoid it, that is what can keep you stuck as well. Okay, all right, my lovely. So to wrap up, to summarize, we have change that is coming for sure. Change is coming whether we make the change or not. So the only thing we can do to really take care of ourselves before we go through some fortuitous kind of shift that's going to happen, that is out of our hands, that the universe is bringing about, we can start to look at our habits, at the things that we need. Maybe you're already working on this, and we're going to start working away. We really want to be tapping into our intuition, our inner messages, our inner guidance, but we want to then actually be doing something with that, not just recognizing it, but we have to spend time with it in order to know what that is. And we want to rely on the wisdom of our ancients, our ancestors, our guides, but also our elders, people who are trained, educated, licensed. And then we want to lean on the support of our brethren, of our sisters, of our tribe, of our family, of those soul connected people who fully nurture and support our lives. So thank you so much. If you've made it this far with me, you know I love you bunches and bunches for that. If you know anybody who is interested in learning more about tarot, I have oodles of guides and resources on my Patreon shop. And also, if you consider becoming a Patreon paid member, I have tiers that can open you up to bonus content and the online tarot community. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and share. That gives great support to this solopreneur here. So, and thank you so much. Until next time. Oh, see my little tattoo there? All right, until next time, friends.